FBI foils terror plot to ruin most patriotic octagon bloodbath in American history. In what federal authorities are calling a chilling and well-coordinated domestic terror plot, the FBI disrupted an alleged scheme to rain explosive drones and sniper fire down on the White House's UFC Freedom 250 event, sparing the nation from the unthinkable horror of missing even one flying knee or ground and pound on the South Lawn. According to court documents, the conspirators, a ragtag group of 23 malcontents angry about government corruption, Epstein files, and data centers stealing all the community water, plan to detonate drones on the north side of the makeshift octagon, panic the crowd of MAGA fight fans and wealthy donors into fleeing south, and then pick off high-value targets with long guns. A second wave was allegedly set to storm the White House gates for good measure. "Thank God we stopped this," said FBI Director Kash Patel. Can you imagine the paperwork if they'd interrupted President Trump's birthday cage fights? The optics alone would have been a disaster. One suspect, a 19-year-old from Ohio tipped off by his own mother after she noticed his sudden interest in drones and revolution, reportedly told investigators the attack was meant to jumpstart something big. Authorities describe the plotters as subscribing to anti-government conspiracies, which experts say is code for people who don't like seeing the octagon on the same lawn where Obama used to play golf with his brother's UFC president Dana White, still riding high from the wildly successful one-of-one event that featured fireworks, military flyovers, and at least one fighter calling someone a man in the post-fight interview, was visibly shaken by the news. "Never again," White said, echoing his earlier vow about hosting another fight night at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. "We almost had exploding drones instead of exploding heads. I can't afford that kind of competition, the sphere was expensive enough." White House officials praised the swift law enforcement response, noting that the event proceeded without incident, unless you count Alex Pereira's knee or Ilia Toporia's ground game as incidents, in which case it was incident-packed and glorious. Attendees, including various Trump family members and Republican dignitaries, reportedly enjoyed the fights so much they barely noticed the extra layers of security that made the place feel like Guantanamo with better catering. Liberal media outlets, predictably, expressed concern that holding MMA fights on the White House lawn somehow normalized violence while simultaneously demanding we all pretend Drag Queen Story Hour is a sacred American tradition. One CNN anchor was heard muttering, "At least when Biden was in office, the only explosions were coming from inside his head." As of press time, the arrested plotters were reportedly demanding vegan meal options in custody and complaining that the whole thing was Trump's fault for making America too exciting again. Dana White has already ruled out future White House cards, saying the next big event will probably just be in a parking lot somewhere in Vegas where the only drones are the ones delivering beer.